You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Save a Pooch on Pet Life Radio. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Beverly Isla. And I wanted to devote this show to how humor can help the cause of rescue dogs, and I appreciate that there is a way to do so despite the seriousness of the cause. And our two guests, comedians Harris Bloom and James Uloth, will explain how they do it. So our first guest wears many hats. Harris Bloom is a professional comedian based in New York and a Wall Street accountant. And he travels across the U.S. to perform comedy shows and has appeared on CBS's The Early Show, NY Inc., NY1, other film and commercials as an actor. Not to mention he's also an officiate at weddings. So when Harris is not making people laugh, he also runs Stewie the Rescue. James Uloth, also a comedian, has a very special cause he created and produced called Raise the Wolf, a stand-up comedy event that works with animal shelters and rescue groups to get much-needed fundraising, and we will chat with him shortly. Now, when we get back from these messages, we will hear from our first guest, Harris Bloom.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Hi, Jill. I see you and Bella are enjoying this lovely day as well.
It's a perfect day for a walk. Isn't that right, Bella?
And what a colorful ID tag you have, Bella. It certainly puts my Rusty's boring engraved tag to shame.
Isn't it great? It's a dog tag art tag.
Dog tag art?
Yeah, dog tag art makes the world's coolest pet ID tags. Pick from hundreds of cute designs or upload your photos or artwork to create a unique tag of your own. They even give you 4 lines of text on the back of the tag for important contact information.
I love it! But do they hold up? We have to replace Rusty's metal tags so often because the information wears away.
Dog tag art tags are some of the highest quality pet tags out there. They're made with super durable stainless steel. Your information is always legible and the tags are guaranteed for life.
Well, I'm sold. Where can I get my dog tag art tag for Rusty?
DogTagArt.com.
Sounds great! We can't wait to get online and get a tag of our own.
DogTagArt.com. We keep best friends together. Use the coupon code RADIO for a 25% discount off any tag.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Save a Pooch. We have Harris Bloom as our first guest today, a professional comedian and founder of Stewie to the Rescue organization. So thank you for coming on today. When I was thinking how I can combine comedy with rescues, I stumbled on your profile and I thought, perfect, a professional comedian who has his own rescue organization. So thanks for coming on.
Sure, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Now, reading your website, your writing is so hilarious. Like, I encourage people to check it out at harrisbloom.com. So how long have you been a comedian, and why are you known as one of the clean comedians in New York? What's that about?
Well, I mean, I've been a comedian for about 10, 11 years now. Why am I clean? Well, quite frankly, it's because it'll give me more gigs.
That's how it works.
A clean comic can certainly work gigs that aren't necessarily clean gigs, but a dirty comic cannot work a clean gig.
Oh, okay. That's why your mom said it.
So, yeah, that helps too.
Yeah,
My mom's
exactly.
very proud of that too.
Do you do any jokes on rescue dogs?
Rescue dogs? Oh, yeah, several.
How do you pull that off?
Well, I mean, I don't make fun of the dogs because they're rescues.
Right.
But, I do jokes about pit bulls and stuff, and actually it's sort of educational. I do jokes about how they're, unfairly maligned. And I'll tell you the truth, when I do jokes about pit bulls, if I'm doing an animal rescue fundraiser, everybody loves me. But when I'm doing a regular club show and I'm talking about pit bulls, I get a lot of blank stares.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I basically have become an educator on stage.
Oh, well, that makes sense when it comes to pit bulls. So you started Stewie to the Rescue, an organization that so you help provide funding to shelters and rescue organizations. What's your story behind that? Why did you decide to open that up?
Well, it actually started kind of a tragic opening.
Oh,
it happened because my first dog, my dog Stewie, whom I love dearly, got hit by a car in 2008. And I
sorry.
was, as you could probably guess, just devastated. And, I went for like 6 months. I was pretty depressed. And long story short, I decided to start fostering, and then I realized how much help is needed in that area, and I decided to work for another rescue, and then I decided, I might as well just start my own and name it after my beloved Stewie. So Here we are, Stewie to the rescue.
How do you provide funding to, I think it's vetting, primarily vetting for the rescue dogs? How do you partner up with these shelters and rescues?
Well, at this point, quite frankly, I have the reputation out there, so I get a lot of emails, calls. I just had one I was dealing with just before getting on with you. An independent TNR person in Brooklyn had written me about a cat that she had trapped that needed extensive dental help, and she just didn't have the funds for it, so I told her that, Stewie would help out. But yeah, at this point, quite frankly, I don't have to look for it. It finds me.
Oh, that's
awesome. I have to
awesome.
look for donations. That's what I got to look for.
Okay, well, then you're in a good spot. You just need to look for your donations. But you do it in an interesting way, and I like how you combine your passions. You perform shows, and a part of the proceeds goes towards your missions, right? So
I do, yeah.
How does that work? Like, you do regular shows at the clubs, and then you do these ones.
Yeah, I do regular shows both for Stewie as well as for other rescues in the tri-state area. I've got shows lined up for, various rescues in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And I work at a discount because obviously that's where my heart is.
Right,
and I get other comics to work at a discount as well.
Also, you do like a lineup of comedians. It's just not only you.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Oh, please. I'm sure you are. Looking at your writing on your website. I also saw the videos of you standing up against the ACC board, which is the Animal Care and Control Board. That is awesome. Good for you. I definitely want you as my lawyer. Now, what were the results of that? What was happening there? I was trying to catch up, but it was hard.
Well,
can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, that was sort of my first claim to fame, actually. That's sort of like really what put me on the rescue map in New York City. I went to the board meeting of the Animal Care and Control, which is a fairly dismal place. And basically, I just didn't think they were doing enough to help big cats and dogs, and they just didn't care enough to demand on a contract from the city. And I didn't think they were doing enough to get more funding or help from the city. And I basically went there and sort of let them have it. And
what was their job in the first place?
Their job is to find homes for the homeless cats and dogs. And rabbits and, any other homeless animals. It's the city shelter, basically.
Okay, it's the city shelter.
But they were just absolutely doing a horrendous job. The infection rate there was about 100%. And every animal got sick there. It was putting a lot of strain on the rescues because they would take dogs and cats out of there, but then they'd have to get them straight to the vet because they were always injured. There were animals that were put on holds from rescues to be adopted. They were killed in the meantime.
Yeah.
Because their system was so bad. Basically, nobody likes them, basically. It's gotten a little bit better since then, but, at that point, it was just absolutely horrendous. The director at the time was seen as being very unresponsive to the community, very alienating. And like I said, I went there, I sort of gave him the what for, and it kind of went like mini viral in the New York rescue community, at least. And I think I got about 1,000 Facebook friends that night when that thing went online.
Yeah, I could imagine. I can see the faces of the board looking at you and you were explaining your spiel. What was the result of you standing there? Yeah, cool.
Well, the result was just basically that, I got well known in the rescue community, and I was marked by the AC&C.
Oh, so they're pretty much plotting against your efforts.
Yeah, they weren't thrilled. They're not thrilled with anybody who embarrasses them. And so, they weren't obviously thrilled with that.
Well, that's too bad because Harris is on the ball here. So let's get back to your rescue organization here.
Yeah.
So how many dogs have you rescued so far? Like, I see you have some success stories posted on your website. Is there any one experience that stands out for you, or are they all kind of the same for you?
I don't know if anything stands out, but the one thing that I'm really proud of is the fact that we're not only helping homeless animals, but because we pay for vet care for people who are low-income individuals, we're really keeping families together.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's such an underserviced part of animal welfare, too, because people tell me that before we came along that a lot of people would actually just surrender their sick animals to the shelter. And the shelter being so full, there's nothing they can do, but they'd probably end up putting them to sleep because they didn't have the funds or the wherewithal to fix them and then find places for them. So we're not only saving the animals, but we're keeping the families together. And obviously, I don't have to tell you how important that is.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. And it's you yourself, or do you have a team?
It is. No, it's pretty much a one-man gang. My wife's on the board also, and I have a couple other board members, but the Stewie the Rescue is basically me.
Oh, okay. And you have an event tonight, you mentioned, right?
I do. I have an event. This is actually not for Stewie, but for Paws, which is a rescue based out of Montclair, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be raising funds for them. I bring in a couple of comedian friends out with me, and we will have a good time.
Awesome. Where can people find out about your comedy events that has anything to do with your rescue organization?
I mean, the best place, I'm pretty bad about listing stuff, but the best place, quite frankly, is to like either the rescue, Stewie the Rescue on Facebook, or just befriend me on Facebook, Harris Bloom.
Okay.
I'm always posting there. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, definitely keep that posted. Thank you so much, Harris, for coming on. If you would like to know more about his work and his foundation, check it out at harrisbloom.com or stewie2therescue.org. And Stewie is STEWIE to therescue.org. That's right?
Yeah,
cool.
That's it.
All righties.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, and good luck today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We'll continue on our topic about comedy and rescue dogs with James Uloth right after these messages from our sponsors.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Amazing Pet Expos is coming to a city near you. Admission is always free, and your pet is welcome. Shopping, adoptions, free nail trims, discounted shots and microchipping, agility, a pet costume contest, and much more. Plus, meet the guys from Animal Planet's hit TV series Tank and Pit Boss. Online at AmazingPetExpos.com.
Bring your pets to the Pet Expo.
Active for Pets is a new wellness platform and app that helps pet parents save time and money on their vet bills. Stop paying for unnecessary vet treatments. Consult with the vet online. Get unlimited access to your pet's entire health history from any computer or smartphone with the Active for Pets app. Vaccinations, medications, test results, and more. Active for Pets gives you access to a team of expert vets for non-emergency care. Make an appointment before, during, or after office hours. Skip the waiting room and get a secure online vet consult on your schedule. Taking care of your pets is as easy as it gets with Active for Pets. Ready to try Active for Pets? Listeners get 40% off a 1-year membership. To get this great offer, use promo code PETLIFE on the sign-up page of active4pets.com. That's ACTIV, the number 4, PETS.com. Or call 888-512-2848.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Save a Pooch. We have comedian James Uloth to chat with us about his very special project called Woof Raise. Thanks for coming on. I really like your initiative.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, I've been a comic for a long time, so it's just great to do what I love and help rescue animals at the same time.
That is awesome. So now you've done comedy shows for several festivals, corporate events, and fundraisers. And Wolf Raise is an event you produce that specifically caters to helping rescue organizations. Yay! So what inspired you to cater specifically to rescue organization? What's your story, James?
You know, Raise the Wolf, we started, about 4 years ago now. And I had a number of rescues get in touch with me, and they wanted to put on a fundraiser. And I did the research into it. You know, I think a lot of regular people out there don't realize that most of these rescues have no government funding or anything like that. So they're always looking for fundraisers, and they're always cash strapped. And when they do fundraise, it's mostly just to get caught up on their bills. You know, they don't ever seem to be ahead. So when I found this out, and it's really quite tragic. You know, I think most of the general public thinks that the government takes care of this, that they, our tax dollars pay for it, and it doesn't. So
absolutely not. That's cool that you got noticed by them. Like, how did you even get into their radar? I do a fundraiser for cancer, and so they'd seen that we did that show, and they came and asked if we wanted to do this, and so I built the tour up, and we do tons of dates now, like 40, work with 40 rescues or so. Yay, that's awesome. That's a lot of rescues.
We do about probably 70% in Canada, 30% in the U.S.
Oh, you're mainly up here. Huh, I'm going to have to look you up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Canada originally, so my reputation and stuff up there really carried it off the beginning, and now we're doing a lot more in the U.S. as our brand kind of built.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. Now, did you ever have any rescue dogs of your own? That's what I was wondering. I was like, maybe he had some of his own to understand.
I have a rescue cat.
That counts.
Yeah, it's a step cat. My wife rescued it, and I adopted him with the wife. But I grew up, and we always had animals. We had dogs and stuff, and cats, and I'm a big animal lover, and it was just natural progression for me. I don't think you could be involved in something, going across Canada and the U.S. without having a real passion for it. You see these people who work in the rescues too, unless they had a passion for it, there's nothing that could drive them.
Yeah, exactly. Although I do know a few people that aren't really into pets, but I don't understand that logic. But there's more that do love them, so that's great. So tell us how the event works, because this event seems to be more like a series than a single event. So as a comedian, I don't really often see them doing series on rescues, so maybe you can chat with us a bit about that.
So basically what happens is a rescue will get in touch with me, and then I'll get in touch with, and they'll want to do the show, and so we'll bring the show to them, and then I just get in touch with a lot of the other rescues in that region, in the surrounding regions, and I build events with them. I tell them what we're doing, and usually 6 months to a year in advance, and they just work on it. And
okay.
We route the tour in, and they've been really successful.
Like, do you usually do it at, what's your venue typically at?
Oh, geez, we've done everything from the local bars and honky tonks to community centers and theaters and church basements and,
anywhere where you can do it, right?
Yeah. We prefer a theater. A theater's a nice presentation. Community centers are nice as well, as long as they have some sound and stuff. Usually our last resort is the local bar and stuff, and we like to have it as a presentation, and, at the same time, people can come in, and we have, we try to have the rescues present materials about what's happening in the community as far as the animal rescue. So, they laugh, but we try and sneak that learning in a bit as well.
Aw, good for you. Good for you. And how many people usually attend? Like, what's your turnout?
Oh, it varies so much by the region. 150 to 200 people on a first year. We have some big ones.
Oh, wow. That's actually a really good turnout.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It draws in, a lot of the fundraising that rescues do is very specific, like a bingo night or something that isn't such a general, I think a lot of people really enjoy comedy. So it's like if you're already kind of coming out to these rescue events and it's a comedy night, they tell all their friends and they're like, oh, we like comedy. So it's just more of a broader demographic comes out.
Right. I can understand that. That's great. Now, for a rescue organization who may be listening, now what is required for them to participate?
Having some volunteers to do the labor and stuff they have is a big thing, and people to help sell the tickets. Usually, if a couple people get together, it's not too much of a work. I have a few events out there where it's one person driving it, and they, they can do well, but it's so much, so much work if you don't have a couple people. It's a lot less work than a lot of initiatives people take on. Essentially, it's a setup the day of an event and the selling of the tickets. So it's not, if you can share the labor, it's not that rough as compared to, one of those, what do I see, garage sales. Those are always so much work and, things along those nature.
Okay. Good to know that they don't need as much volunteers to set something up like this. But what kind of fees do you charge any fees for the rescues?
Yeah, we do charge a fee. It's a set fee. We don't take percentages of anything. And, if you raise $100,000, we get paid the same. And it basically covers our travel costs and stuff. It's not a very expensive event to bring in. The risk to reward is very mitigated.
Okay. That's good to know. What can we expect from you in the rest of this year? I know we're almost halfway through, so you're probably already booked up for the rest of the year. And where will you be mainly?
We do. A lot of the times we have 2 tours on the road at the same time. We, we'll have a lot of people are after the same weekends and stuff, so we just end up making 2 tours. So, I have to personally collect all the comics and stuff. Yeah.
That's a lot of driving.
Yeah, we're all over U.S. and Canada now, and I trust and the comics I send out there. So, we split up, and we'll have some people in Canada and some people in the U.S. at the same time, and they're all professionals, so they don't need me to babysit them, even though it's hard for me because it's my baby and I put so much time into this. But, you trust people you're with. They come and we give them a great show and lots of laughs.
So actually, now that you mention that, so you have a team of comedians that work with you. So it's not only you.
No, usually there are 2 or 3 comic shows, depending on the region and what we're doing. We like to send out a 3-comic troupe. That way we can put a little intermission in there so they can sell some more silent off items and stuff like that. We really kind of format it in the evening to be entertaining, but also have those, silent auctions and times for raffles and all that stuff, so they can really, get that back end funding that comes off the event. So it's not just the ticket sales; they're getting the money off silent auctions.
Exactly.
And all that stuff.
Good for you. That's brilliant. And way to cover more shows at one time. That's awesome. Well, thank you for doing what you do and making a contribution to rescue dogs. Now, where can people stay up to date with your upcoming shows?
If they go to the website, woofraise.com, or if they go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/raisethewoof, we keep our Facebook page pretty updated with all our events. We have pictures of what we're doing and the audiences and the comics and stuff, so the Facebook's a great way to keep up on us.
Great. And your Facebook is?
Yeah, the tour is called Raise the Woof, but we couldn't get the URL, so we just put Woof Raise as the domain name, and then everything else is Raise the Woof.
Raise the Woof. Okay, great. And they can get, I'm sure that there's details on how people can get tickets.
Yeah, we just put up links to the local rescue. The local rescues deal with the tickets directly. We deal with more of the... Okay. Gotcha.
Thank you so much for taking the time to let us know about what you're up to.
Oh, thank you so much for getting the word out and for doing what you do. It's putting the exposure and everything that really is going to make the difference. So thank you.
You're welcome. We try. Well, we are out of time, and I'd like to thank James Uloth and our show producer, Mark Winter, for making this show possible. Now, if you have any questions, comments, or ideas for a show, please email me at beverly@petliferadio.com. So until next time, spread animal compassion.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.